Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to BiteSizeMining. Today, guys, I want to bring you up to date on the new Ethereum miner, on the new Bitmain Antminer called the Antminer E3. So let's jump right into it here, guys. Here is the new Bitmain Antminer. It's big. It looks big. I don't know what the dimensions exactly are on it, but it looks a lot bigger than any of the Antminers that were produced already. So again, this is the E3. This is the Bitmain Antminer that is supposed to be the destroyer of GPU mining for those of you who are mining Ethereum with GPUs. So it's on the ET hash algorithm, and I just want to kind of go over with you guys to kind of make sure that you are informed about your purchase or what you may be planning on purchasing. So when I look at this, I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, it's $800. It's an $800 rig. Okay, what does it have to offer? All right, it's an 800 watt power consumption, and by the way, you've got to purchase this the power supply for this separately, which is about another $105. So in total, you're looking at so far about $905. Okay. The hash rate on this is 180 mega hashes per second. Alright, so how does that compare to, say, a 6 rig RX 580 mining rig, right? So over here at the Bitcoin.Pub, we were lucky enough that Machu here actually supplied us with his currently running specs on his RX 580 mining rig. So his RX 580 mining rig, he's averaging about 30 mega hashes per second with between 110 to 115 watts per card. Okay, and that corresponds very closely to what Tamine is using as their average. Their average is 30.2 mega hashes per second with a power consumption of 135 watts per card. So my guess here is that Machu is actually overclocking his card and undervolting the card at the same time, so he can bring the power consumption down but keep the hash rate in that 30 mega hash per second range. So when I do the math on this and I see 180 mega hashes per second, if I divide that by 30 mega hashes per second, I get about 6 GPUs. So this is comparable to a 6 GPU mining rig of RX 580s. Now, we all know that the price of GPUs is going up, the price of RAM has gone up, and you've got to buy all these other components with it. So the price of an RX 580 rig could run you somewhere between $3,500 to $4,000 just to build this rig, right? So that's about 3 times more than what Antminer here is proposing. Now, here's the catch. This is only available limit 1 per person or per user. Now, that means that you're going to have to, if you want to really build up a lot of these, you're going to have to call your mom, you're going to have to call your grandma, you're going to have to call your dad, whatever. You're going to have to call a lot of people if you want to get a lot of these. You can get about 3 of them in about, you can get about 3 of them for the price you could get 1 GPU mining rig. Now, what's the payback? What's the payback period on this? Well, we know right now that this is comparable, right, to a 6 GPU rig. Alright, so if we go through here, and let's neglect the cost for electricity right now, and if we just ran this, and we looked at Ethereum, it's about making about $6 a day, right? So $1,000 divided by 6. Let me do the math real quick here. So $1,000 divided by 6 is about 166 days. So you're looking at about a 166 day period for your return on investment. Okay, that is just going with $1,000 as the price of the unit. Now, from what my understanding is when you order these from Bitmain, okay, and you're ordering them into your country, specifically the US, there's a customs fee you have to pay. There's all this paperwork that you need to make sure you fill out prior to that rig arriving at customs. Otherwise, they take it and they send it back. It has happened to people on the Bitcoin.Pub. I'm just trying to educate you guys that you got to be aware of these things. You got to be aware of the regulations of your country of importing in product like this. Okay? Now, let's dive into the speculative details of this E3. So, one of the Bitcoin.Pub members brought up a great point about whether or not this is an ASIC mining rig. Okay? It's listed under their ASIC mining rigs, but it doesn't say anything anywhere in here. There's nowhere in here that it specifically says this is an ASIC chip, right? So the same chips that are being used for Litecoin and Bitcoin, it doesn't specifically say that. So the speculation and what I believe, and this comes from members of the Bitcoin.Pub, this speculation is that this rig is actually just stripped down GPUs, stripped down RX 580s. So what is that? Well, if you take the RX 580 and you remove the fans, right? You remove the fans from it, and you stack those cards neatly together, get some pass-through air, which you see right here, get some pass-through air, and you've got a smaller, compact mining rig. So this E3, this could just be stripped down RX 580s. It's possible, guys. I don't want to rule that out just yet. The other thing that I would be real concerned about, real speculative about, is the DAG. Okay? Does this thing have enough RAM? This was a great point that was brought up on the Bitcoin.Pub. Does this have enough RAM? Okay? I'm sure it does if it's getting through that. But that brought me to the next thing, the difficulty. When the difficulty rises, how is this going to react? Because we all know that as the difficulty rises, your hash rate goes down and your shares are going to go down. Whereas like the Vega 56 and the Vega 64, those were very resistant to the difficulty changes, right? They were very resistant to the DAG. So that's another question. That's another thing that we have to be concerned about. Okay? Don't forget, guys, this is just for the first batch. Okay? Prices may go up. Okay? Prices may go up on the next batch, on batch 2. And again, the delivery for this, though, is going to be between July 16th and July 31st. So we've still got about 3 months before these things even ship, okay? And probably about 4 months before we actually see people using them and bringing us accurate data on them. So keep that in mind, guys. That's 4 months of mining that you're going to have to wait to see how this thing is going to perform, especially if you buy it now, right? So we don't know how it's going to perform. That 166 days may turn into 200 days, may turn into a year. We don't know. But if you're looking at it and you're comparing it to an AMD rig, yes, this is a better buy, price-wise. But I want you to also remember, and I keep bringing all of this stuff up, but I'm trying to give you guys the best information out there that I can bring to you. You have to remember the warranty on these. They do have a warranty, okay? Here's their terms and conditions of all their warranties, right there, plain as day. The issue of all of this is you've got to pay the customs to get it there, customs to get it back, and they only accept crypto and wire transfers, both of which are irreversible. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is a fairly reputable company, though, I believe, okay, that most people have been able to send their money, their crypto or their wire transfers, and get it back. However, they do have a time period in which you have to send it to them. So if they're asking you for their warranty money in the next 14 days, you've got to be right there and be on top of it. Whereas if you're buying the GPUs in the States, at least in the States, you're able to get your warranty. You're able to claim your warranty fairly quickly, talk to a representative, and get your new product. I'm going through that right now with the GTX 1070. I'm going through that right now with a Vega, and it's been fairly painless. Okay, sending the GPU back and waiting to receive the new one back. All right, guys. So that's my overview of the Antminer E3. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Please leave a comment down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Like this video if it was helpful for you. And if you want to continue the discussion, you can join us right here on the Bitcoin.Pub, where we will continue to talk about the E3, speculate, and see what we think this miner is going to do. Again, I really appreciate it that you guys joined me here. We'll see you next time.